Okay, everybody, welcome back. It has been long overdue. I know you are eagerly awaiting for the Star Wars CCG graded Facebook group update for March of 2024. I am here with JP, the man himself. As you know, we go through the previous month's contests, upcoming contests, all updates in relation to Star Wars CCG graded prices, stories, anything going on in the graded group that is of interest and note. And then yeah, so we'll kick this off with the contest winners because I know everyone's dying to know that. So our category for the prior month was love, couples, right?
Romance.
Love could be interpreted a little bit uniquely, and some people did. Some people took it quite literally. Some people kind of made a case for it. But we had no lowball entries. So sadly, nobody has any poor quality cards related to love, which I don't believe, but we'll go with it for this time. Let's kick off unique pairs. JP, go ahead and start us off here.
Yeah, right. So since there was no low ball, we decided that there's room for second and first place for the unique pairs. And again, there was a lot of interest this month. So it was a good month. It was the romance love. So in second place was Kyle's. Kyle had a super, that's right, super unique pair. He had the Hand Jedi pack, graded out of HGA 9 and Bush HGA 8. I love this for a lot of reasons, is because who's grading Jedi pack cards? So that's great. Not only is it unique, high grades. HGA is tough. I know SGC is tough as well.
Yeah.
But there was a good relation there. And then the Bush from Jabba's that was also HGA. I'm sorry. So both of those put together was a very unique pair, and it fit the theme perfectly. So good job, Kyle.
Yeah, I liked that like armor belt like they did across her chest, like on the slab label itself. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, they're super clever. If you guys haven't looked at HGA, go out and just take a quick peek at them. You're going to love them. And for this month's unique winner, drum roll, and number one is Paul Hubbard. Paul Hubbard had an awesome Jabba's Prize Reflections 2-7, and also the Bush graded 9. The continuity linkage on this is perfect. You've got Tanny Carbonite and you've got Leia and Bush. So congratulations, Paul. Number one. It was an awesome submission and awesome cards. And then I'm going to hand it over to Kyle to do the top pair.
Yeah, that pair was right on the money with this category and everything. Okay, so third place. Now, this second and third place was very tough, and I had to go back and forth on this. But ultimately, it is Andy Hallbrook with R2-D2 PSA 9 and a 3PO Endor foil PSA 10. The 3PO Endor foil PSA 10 is no easy feat, as we have seen a lot of Endor foils come back with disappointing grades from those who submit them, thinking they would be 1 point higher. Yep. And I know that the Imperial ones are more difficult. However, the Rebel is no easy feat either. I mean, these are the earlier foils, right? And a lot of these come back as 7s and 8s, even some 6s. And from the naked eye, they look okay. So that's really impressive. With second place, very close, Christopher Bauer, Mara Jade Ref 2, PSA 10, and Luke Skywalker Reflections 1, PSA 9. Very impressive. Of course, anything from the Reflections foils getting it to a 9 is pretty difficult in its own right, too. And Mara Jade, of course, even though it's expanded history, very much the love couple on theme. So love that submission. And for our top submission, JP, please.
Yes. So it was pretty much hands down. Fantastic submission by Serge. He submitted the Japanese Leia BGS Gem Mint 9.5 and also the Japanese Han Solo BGS Gem Mint 9.5 as well. That definitely very little room for improvement. It's about as best as it can get. Both cards are amazing. They're Japanese, hard to grade, hard to find, and both gem mint. So congratulations, Serge. You are the #1 winner for top pair.
I'm not gonna lie, it's mildly frustrating, annoying, and I'm very jealous that every couple weeks or so, Sergey just throws out a couple 9.95s and 10 Japanese mains, and it's just like, hey, these are for sale if anybody wants some. I got like a shoebox of them. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, where does he come up with these cards, and where are they all so nice quality? What were you doing for the last 10 years, Sergey?
Yeah.
Stockpiling all these Japanese cards. It's quite humorous, but also very impressive. So, of course, I think we've all made deals and purchased them, yet he still has more. So maybe he's printing them in his backyard. Maybe he's printing them.
Yeah, I mean, we always, that's one of the things I get accused of from other groups is, are we printing money over here on the graded group? And I'm like, hey, come join in the fun and check out the community. It's just
I think there's something different going on in Canada that I'm just not aware of. So that's a secret.
Some of the top members in our group are Canadians with some of the best cards, and they keep coming out of the woodwork. It's crazy that and this is part of the competitions, this is the goal we're trying to achieve, is show us your collection. But that's all we want to see. We want to showcase your guys' beautiful collection, whatever it is. And this stuff just pops out and just blows our mind. It's like, where did that come from? So
I know. It's really impressive. It's really impressive. So congrats on that. And so looking forward to our upcoming contests, we have discussed some of the good categories that we think will be great for the upcoming months. For April, we're going to be doing Imperial Officers. So that means it has to have like a captain or corporal or general or something like that, like something that's of the military rank. So on the Imperial side, that could be foil, non-foil, could be Japanese, could be English, could be white border, could be black border, wouldn't matter, but Imperial Officers. For May the 4th, right? Generally a Star Wars month, we're going to do cards with lightsabers in them. So there could be Jedi cards that don't have a lightsaber in it. That wouldn't count. There are cards that are not related to a Jedi that have a lightsaber in it. That does count, right? Could be English, could be Japanese, could be white border, black border, could be foil, non-foil, but cards with lightsabers for May. June, we're going to do Rebel Officers, so kind of the counterpoint to the Imperial Officers of April. And for July, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a lowball month. This is going to be a lowball only submission month, which is going to require a submission of a card graded below an 8.0. And this will really just be one card submitted, but we're debating on whether we allow 2 or 3 submissions per person. But really, you only need one card to participate, and it could be anything. But we are looking for the lowest graded card that has, I guess, the highest value, right?
Yeah. Does anybody have like a Darth Vader that's like a 2 or something? It's like, holy cow, it's a $50 card, but now it's a 2. It's probably worth $3. We're looking for what card do you have in your collection that's the lowest grade, but probably the highest value if it was raw, and see what you got in your collection.
So this is very exciting for those who had your dog chew your Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight, or your kid threw up on your DMYA foil. This is the great time to grade that and win this contest. So you can stand proudly again.
One winner. There's not going to be any other categories but low ball. So get ready and dig those cards out. I'm excited to see what you guys got.
So yes, very excited. Look forward to that. And I hope you guys submit cards with the February special at PSA right now. They have $1 off. I think it's $13.99 for non-sport TCG submissions, worth under $500, I think, or $4.99. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be submitting cards now. I think this is a slower time for them, hence why they have that special. But I'm sure things will pick up once we get, spring rolling through. Cam also shared something interesting with PSA. I noticed when I was putting together a submission a couple weeks ago, the process looked a little bit different online, which kind of annoyed me because I was doing it and then I was going to submit it, and then it like somebody must have clicked the button to change it and I had to redo it all over again. I was like really annoyed about it, but it's not that big of a deal. It just looks a little bit different on there. But what Cam was sharing on the group earlier was basically you take a picture with the app and then it scans it and then it recognizes the card in the system as what it is, PSA's estimated value, and then you put in what submission level you want to grade it at, which if that's the newest, latest, greatest, I think that's fantastic. And I'm sure that could be streamlined even further into like scanning machines, for the people that bring in like hundreds or thousands of cards, card heavy dealers and stuff where they kind of scan them. That could really be a fast way of submitting a lot of cards. So this is all new to me, but I like where that's going. I think that's great. I don't know if Star Wars CCG has enough in the database or they have enough cards submitted where they can give you an estimated value or even recognize the card itself. There's still too many Pop Zero cards to do that. And I would love to see some of this technology also be adopted by some of our other grading partners as well. I think coming along with, AI scanning and recognizing a card and being able to put it in is just like, that's amazing. Because let's face it, like sometimes I don't submit cards for a while because I'm just like, ugh, like I need another like hour to like go through these and like prep them or like sort them out, and it's just like annoying. It's like a work data project, and I'm like, I don't have the time to do that right now. So sometimes stuff just sits. So I think that's great if that's what's upcoming.
Let me add something to that, Kyle.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Go
ahead. I've also heard I've gotten some information back from some of the other members that when you're submitting the tournament foil Corellian Corvette and the Imperial class Star Destroyer, their rates have gone up when they're sending it back to you. They're realizing that those two cards are worth more than $500. So just be, and this is just PSA, is all I've heard from then. So just be aware that if you're going to be sending those two cards in and you're going to try to get the TCG specials, they're probably going to catch it and flag it, and then you're going to get charged for the regular, however much on 2,000 or less, whatever the submission they fall under. So just be aware those two cards are now under PSA's flagging. So
for the entire order. So if you submitted it for 20 cards, they're going to turn the entire order into a regular order, not just those two cards. So if you submitted them by themselves and you get bumped up, you're probably like, okay. But if you had another 20 cards in there, you'd probably be, oh shit.
Right.
That's some serious dough change right there. I had that happen to me on a Japanese submission. They upped the value of my submission. I was like, none of these cards are worth more than like $30. I don't know what they saw in them, but clearly they thought some of my Japanese graded cards were worth more than I thought they were. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, more of an annoyance, but I was like, okay. I wish they'd just tell you like the estimated value, like right then and there, as opposed to just kind of guessing.
True. Well, that's part of that card recognition, is that this is going to help them catch it quicker, because if it's in their database, there's no like taking the customer's word for it. It's just going to be like, we know the value for it. And so as they keep building that database and it gets to be more robust, our cards are going to be part of that. So there's eventually going to be cards that are going to start falling outside of those basic discounts and start being pricey cards.
Are they tracking sales like within PSA itself, where people buy and sell stuff there, or are they going like, you know what I mean? Like it's unclear as to the source of.
Right. I haven't drilled around or asked questions. I used to be in really close contact with a couple of the managers there, and they'd write back, but it's been crickets and ghost town for several months on both the registry and just basic questions. I'm trying to get us to have some kind of a little spread or an article in one of the PSA magazines, just showing how we've been keeping track. We track everything from sales and pricing and the quarterly state of the market and what our group does and how we're careful at taking care of our community. So it's just been a ghost town trying to get information back. And I said, I'll submit everything. I'll write the column. I'll do everything and submit it to you for editing. And so haven't heard anything back on any of that.
Yeah, I'll reach out to my uncle. I know he submits extensively like high value baseball cards with PSA, and he buys and sells like all the time. Like he's trading those like ones from like, you know, the 30s, 40s, like that old stuff. Like it's crazy valuable, right? Maybe he knows a little bit more, or could put us in touch with somebody. So, notable sales for March thus far. I did want to call out there was a Mark Hamill auto failure at the Cave Dagobah PSA auto, $900 sold. So that was kind of cool. I mean, it is an auto. And there also was a Darth Maul Young Apprentice AI foil PSA 8 that sold for $800. So I think that is of note.
That was just yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, that was really awesome. I thought it was another cool sale. Like towards the end of last month, there was an AT-AT cannon from Hoth PSA 10 for $102.50. I think the AT-AT cannon is pretty cool. The Japanese one itself also has hold its value. I think raw it's like $70, $75, give or take. That's just like always been kind of a popular card. I think if I can come across an extra one of those, I probably would grade one of those. It's just a cool shot too. But yeah, other than that, I was going to turn it over to you, JP, to give us some updates on the Facebook group itself and anything else you wanted to share.
Yeah, there's some really good updates this month. We've had lots of growth. We've had about 20 members since the last update, and I like keeping track of that. And it's been kind of a quiet month. Usually, a lot of new members have lots of questions, or they're reaching out to the admins to get some more information or find out what it's all about. But we're getting to the point now where we're still at a good steady growth, and there is a what is it? Not quite a bounty, but there's a challenge that's out there that I just recently put back into the feature for everybody to read, and it's from Manu PL, and he says that if we reach 800 members, he's got a Reflections 2 sealed box he's going to crack into and do a streaming on it so we can kind of watch, and I think he'll probably send a lot of those off for grading. But so that's the challenge is our group. I think he made that call out when we were at like 698 or 699. So it's been a month and a half, and we've already about to hit 725. So we're doing good for growth. So that's awesome. We talked about the big sale. I noticed that Darth Maul that sold last night for 800 was a big thing. I want to give a shout out to Luke Fritz for all that he's doing, not only for our group, but for the entire Star Wars CCG community. His energy and his organization, plus all his data collecting skills, what his personal collection and the way he's been showcasing everything has just been positive for everybody. He gives everybody inspiration, and I just want to give a shout out to him. He's just been such a great asset to the group and to our community. So I don't know if he's gotten any recognition lately, but good job, Luke. Keep up the great work, and we appreciate all your information.
I want to second on that because he has actually gone way out of his way to find data from across the world. Has also searched through databases going back like 2006, maybe even further. I mean, I wouldn't even know where to begin. So again, to apply that, and not just that, his time and efforts into that, and then updating this has really created a massive resource for everybody who's buying, selling, trading, and looking at what's going on in here. This is so helpful. Even if we don't have a card, like if I have a card graded and I don't see it existing here, if maybe I see a foil or a white border or something similar to it, I can kind of get a ballpark of like where the rough value is of it, even if the exact match of the card doesn't exist. It's just super helpful. So that's been amazing. And also following his journey on the uncut sheets has been really fascinating. That's kind of like a story in and of itself. I mean, with the plane and the trades and like going places. Like it's really an international story of of wonder. But those are the coolest stories, right? When you think about how you get to the end of like what it took to get there. And I think we can all kind of relate in some ways. It's just great that we can live vicariously through that journey. So that's fantastic. Keep it up, Luke.
Yeah, good job, Luke. So, and again, if there's anybody out there that's got some crazy, weird collection going on that you're not that you're ashamed or afraid to show, that you just haven't thought about showing. Maybe somebody's got some Star Wars, maybe some Decipher Company stuff where you've got the whole collection of all the letterhead and envelopes and all kinds of stuff that's just out of the ordinary. Show us. Everybody's into these cards, and whatever your collection is, show it to us, showcase it, and we're going to love it. I promise you. Also, along with this video, probably coming up in April, be on the lookout for State of the Market for Q1 2024. That's going to have Matt, Andy, Mark, and Greg in it. And so they're going to be able to really lock down and show you kind of what the trends are for all the sales of sets and sealed product and what the major cards are and everything. So that'll be coming up soon. So
I love
really,
those. I love those so much. Those are so great.
they are. And just like when, for me, I just straight up collect. You'll rarely see me get rid of anything. And sometimes I sell or just give away some stuff every once in a while. But it really keeps me informed because there's things that are up and things that are down. And both of them always seem to amaze me. Like I wasn't expecting that to be that far down. Let me go out there and maybe buy a couple of those sets. Whereas the same time, it's like, well, holy cow, now that stuff's getting to be so expensive, I can't even obtain any more of it if I wanted to get it. So I love how the market is. It's like literally watching a stock market.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting to see the trends with that. I love that. Those updates.
So that's really all I've got for the month in the group. Keep up the great work. I mean, there's been a lot of sales and auctions and just straight up, hey, who wants to buy this? I'm getting rid of it in our group. It's just like every day there's somebody posting junk out there for trade and sale. And so keep on going. That's what the group's for.
Yeah, I want to see some more low balls. That's the moral of this story. I want to see I want to see more low balls down the line, right? So get out your junkers, clunkers, and the ones that you would throw away. Let's get those graded and submit them for the July contest.
I can't wait. July is going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome. Well, thank you, JP, and yeah, see you out there.
All right, thanks, Kyle.